The Thesis Bootcamp format was created with generative writing in mind. I will now explain some of the concepts that underpin the Thesis Bootcamp format and explain why we do the things we do. Research on honesty showed people's willingness to contribute towards shared coffee supplies in a department tea room was higher when eyes, especially the crazy eyes, were pasted above the donation tin instead of flowers. This research demonstrates that humans are more likely to behave differently when they feel like their actions are being observed. By sharing your writing goals and progress with the group, you'll be holding yourself accountable. For Thesis Bootcamp Online, we'll be sharing our writing goals on the Thesis Bootcamp Padlet wall. This programme is not a silver bullet, however. Hard work and planning are the key to success at Thesis Bootcamp. Therefore, we ask you to bring dedication and discipline to the bootcamp. We will provide you with the timetable and generative writing techniques, but it is ultimately up to you to take this information and run with it. 20,000 words is not an easy ask, but don't worry, you are not on your own. The recap team and the rest of the recruits are here to support you. When you applied to Thesis Bootcamp, you agreed to attend all sessions of the programme and to complete preparatory tasks in order to gain the most benefit from Thesis Bootcamp. This includes submitting your thesis map. The pre-work information will have been sent to you in your welcome email, but you can also read the pre-work section of this Moodle page for further details. As a bootcamp recruit, you are expected to stay the whole bootcamp unless prior arrangements have been made. For Thesis Bootcamp Online, this means you're expected to attend all morning and afternoon live workshops and also encouraged to attend the afternoon coffee breaks to catch up with the rest of the recruits. This is the triangle of writing metrics, which Rachel Aaron refers to in her blog post, How I Went from 2,000 to 10,000 Words a Day. Rachel is a professional writer who found she had less time on her hands whilst taking care of a newborn baby. Rachel uses the triangle to explain how we can write in a more efficient manner when we carefully consider three very important factors. The first factor is time. Knowing when and where we write best is key to writing efficiently, but this is easier said than done. This is something you should reflect on and evaluate. Choosing the best place and time for you to work efficiently is personal to you. For me, whilst working from home, this is at a desk and I need to be fully dressed and ready for my day. Not checking my emails or having contact with the outside world helps me too. At Thesis Bootcamp, we will provide you with a schedule of protected writing time for you to make the most of. In her blog, Rachel discusses how she is more likely to write when she is excited by the chapter she is writing. She also acknowledges that she throws any chapters away that she is less enthusiastic about. It is true, the more enthusiastic we are about a subject, the more likely we are to be productive. Unfortunately for us, most PGRs will come across chapters that they are less excited about, but are vital for their overall work. For these chapters, it may be that you have to work extra hard, but make sure that you acknowledge this and reward yourself accordingly, whether this is with a longer break or something sugary. For the majority, hopefully your thesis topic is something that you are enthusiastic about, so think about it as a gift to the world and let the writing commence. Knowledge is the part of the writing triangle that represents the research you do beforehand. When you turn up to day one of Thesis Bootcamp, you will have already done this in the form of your thesis map. Planning what you are going to write before you start a writing session can double your word count. The part of the writing process that takes the most time is the thinking. Therefore, by providing yourself with a well thought out scaffold, you are creating a blueprint from which you can write. If you are ever struggling to fill a blank page, there are handy sentence prompts that you can use from sites like Manchester Academic Phrase Bank. Don't forget, it's perfectly fine to write in chunks and out of sentence, then stitch it together later. We will be asking you to avoid perfectionism during Thesis Bootcamp, which is harder for some. On the slide you will see the writing cycle. We start the writing cycle off by conceptualising our ideas, researching what we will write, and finally planning what we will say. This is known as the think phase. We then turn our ideas into words and get the first draft down on paper. This is the write phase. Next, we look at our work as a whole and edit the text. We structure our arguments and arrange paragraphs and sentences until they are in an order we are happy with. This is the editing phase. Finally, we check for spelling and grammatical errors. Check referencing and quotations and proofread our work. This is the polish phase. A perfectionist could go through this cycle for every sentence they write. You can imagine how this slows someone down. If we look at it another way, studies have shown it can take 16 minutes to refocus on a work task after checking your emails. In this case, if you want to be more time efficient, you would check several emails in one chunk rather than spending 60 minutes trying to refocus after each email. It is with this idea in mind that we ask you to complete the writing cycle for a section of text no shorter than 500 words. Working in sections, not sentences, is how you will save time. Spending more time on each phase can make you a more efficient writer. You might also like to consider that you can work best in the different phases at different times. For example, I'm a better thinker when I'm walking, therefore I might time a short walk before I complete a writing block. As mentioned previously, it is also very important to take lots of breaks. When reflecting on how you can make improvements to your writing style and pattern, remember to be kind to yourself. It is just as important to acknowledge what you do really well and work to your strengths. Lastly, I would like to say that I'm looking forward to meeting you at the next Thesis Bootcamp, and I hope your preparations are coming along well. See you soon.